Good morning. It is a beautiful Friday morning. I hope you had a nice Canada Day yesterday, and perhaps it will be a really long weekend for you. And either way, I look forward to hopefully seeing you on Sunday. Today, with Cheryl's help, we will be talking a little bit about peace. We know that there are a number of different peace signs that have been used over the centuries. For the early Christians, they might have, or they did rather, use a dove and an olive branch, and these symbols would later become quite popular, mainstream, and even secular. The peace sign, as it is known today, you can look that up if you like, came about in the 1960s as a logo used for the British campaign for nuclear disarmament. In that logo, there's a vertical line in the center that is meant to represent the semaphore. Cheryl, these words are too big for me. Semaphore flag, specifically the signal for the letter N. And then the downward pointing lines on either side represent the semaphore flag signal for the letter D. And thus, what looks to us like, an upside down Y is actually the code for ND, nuclear disarmament. I did not know that. For the world, this is the goal, this is related to the goal of peace and our understanding in this world about peace. And largely it is the absence of war or conflict. But we know, as followers of Jesus, that the idea of peace runs even deeper than that. It's more than just all the nuclear bombs and weapons being destroyed. It's more even than all of the nations of our world getting along. The world views peace again as a concept of harmony, an absence of conflict and hostility, and again, that's the world's point of view on things. This is a temporary harmony, though, we know. That's the reality of our world. They talk about peace treaties or cease fires. You think of the Middle East, and how many times have they signed various peace treaties? But what ends up happening? So far, at least in history, time after time again, new leaders will come, or the same old leaders will change their mind, and conflict will resume again. So we know that in our world, the cessation of hostilities is always temporary. World peace depends largely on individuals, on the self, on the ability of people to keep their word, to keep their calm. It depends on them. But we know the peace of Jesus obviously transcends that. It's much bigger than just everyone deciding to stay calm for a time. We know that it is only in Him that we can have the true peace that the Bible talks about. Should Christians promote peace even though it is so fleeting? Absolutely. We know Hebrews 12:14 says, "Make every effort to be at peace with everyone." But we also know that there's more to that verse. And it helps us understand the truth of what real peace, or shalom as we sometimes call it, what it is. Again, Hebrews 12:14 says, "Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy, because without holiness no one will see the Lord." You see, peace is not just the absence of hostility. It's not just us learning to hold our temper and to get along, but rather the shalom, the peace of God, also includes this element of holiness or wholeness, of things being and existing as they are meant to be. However, despite the fact that this can't fully happen in our lifetimes in this world, we can still know a level of peace. A peace, a true peace that comes from God. As it says in John 14:27, Jesus himself said, "My peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." That is a wonderful promise that reminds us that even though he, the Prince of Peace, is not fully with us today in the sense that we walk with him and are in fullness of fellowship with him, that won't happen until he returns, until the kingdom is restored in fullness. But nevertheless, he has left his peace with us. He has given us hope. He has given us a glimpse of what wholeness really looks like, and it's found in him. Jesus said, "I have said these things to you so that you may have peace. In this world there will be much trial, but take heart, I have overcome the world." And so today, again, whatever is going on around us, and we know there's a lot of hurtful things, we know there's a lot of pain, and some of you are going through some very hurtful and difficult trials these days. And the fact of the matter is, you know, and I know, that wholeness and restoration won't come on this side of the grave. But we maintain hope and we cling to that promise that Jesus has left his peace with us. He has left us with enough of his truth and goodness and power to help us through and to give us that peace needed to navigate through all of the challenges that life throws us. So this day, on a beautiful Friday, treasure all the beauty that is around us and look to him, in whom is found the fullness of peace and wholeness, and draw on that today. Thank you, Cheryl, and thank you, everyone. God bless. Have a great weekend.